Hello, beautiful souls. It's Polly here, and I have an important video on anger. And Lord, do we not need more information about how to deal with our anger in the world? First, let's understand anger from the neuroscience point of view. So I want you to see my hand, arm, fist. The fist represents the brain. The wrist represents the brainstem, and the brainstem controls the bodily functions. And if I lift up my finger, you'll notice the thumb is there. And that thumb is the amygdala. And the amygdala is where our emotions are. That's how we react from our emotionary place. Now, if I close my hand, there's the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is the rational, wise part of our brain. And so when we feel anger, the brain will go into the hardwired response, which is the fight, flight, freeze, and some do the fawn, which is the people-pleasing part. And so everyone is different in how that happens. There's what is called the eruptors, which always go into the fight, and then there's the stuffers who go into the freeze, flight, and fawn. However, inside the brain, when the anger and the rage is triggered, we flip our lid, and what's exposed is the amygdala, and that's why we get hijacked by our emotions. Instantly, we lose contact with the prefrontal cortex, instantly. And we lose ourselves in the anger. The amygdala hijacks our emotions, and we stay in the fight, flight, freeze response. So the first step is to recognize that we're in anger and immediately do some mindfulness. Some mindfulness exercises immediately can help us come out of the trigger. So what are some simple mindfulness exercises? Well, we can take a deep breath right away. Breath in, breath out, breath in, breath in. Nice deep breaths to regulate us. We can do some other exercise. I'm going to give you a couple from Dr. Peter Levine, who I love. Very simple. Grab your hand, put it underneath your armpit, and pull over to your chest. Take the other hand, put it on your shoulders, and just hold yourself. You're holding the nervous system. It's calming and regulating it. It's like a warm hug. Now, you can just do that alone, but what I like to add to it is breath work with it. I just pull in, and then a breath in, and then a breath out. And I like the breath out through the mouth when it comes to anger. So breath in, breath out. Next one you can do from Peter Levine, it's another simple one. Put your hand on your forehead, one on your heart, and then you can move it to here and back. And again, I like to add breath with it. And we can regulate again, calm ourselves down. And when we're calm, now we can look at the anger, because we now need to inquire into the anger and what is going on with the anger. We need to do some self-inquiry. These stories and perceptions that we're telling ourselves, a lot of the time, these are coming from our past and they're not true. So anger is a great way to heal our trauma. It's a direction that we have some trauma to heal. It's a direction to love, back to love. It's a direction we need something to look at. So myself, I learned to be a stuffer as a little boy. I learned that in childhood. I can even remember saying to myself, I'm never going to be angry and rageful like my father. And so I learned to be a stuffer. And the other reason is that if I did show my anger, I would get hurt. So I learned to stuff. And so it was quite difficult to get in touch with my anger as an adult, and it was very important. And also, when you stuff anger and when you're not dealing with your anger, what happens is you have no boundaries. Zero boundaries. And I had zero boundaries. So it's important to do our daily mindfulness exercises and to have a good exercise program. A good part of dealing with anger is having a good holistic recovery. Have a great day.